Yeah, thanks, Adam. As you know, there are two major categories of rewards: cash and non-cash. That's it. Cash is easy. You don't have to think very much about it. I think you still have to be very careful about what you're incentivizing, but you can give people cash, and 9 times out of 10, I think they're going to be satisfied with it. And that's sort of the key word there. They're going to be satisfied with it. And I think if you ask a room full of people, 100 people, at least 70 of them are going to say cash is their favorite reward. And that happens time and again when we look at research. We ran a biometric study with only 42 subjects, but we hooked them up to all the biometric devices, as you can imagine, that registered their heartbeat and perspiration and eye movement and that sort of thing. And we found that people are drawn to non. So subliminally, let's say subconsciously or unconsciously, they carefully betray an attraction to non-cash rewards. Their eyes will dart and fixate on big screen TVs, trips, which you can represent with beaches and palm trees and ski hills and that sort of thing, and not on cash. And that was interesting to us. But it was even more interesting when at the end of this experiment, we asked them what they would choose if they could choose cash or non-cash. And of the 42 respondents, only 4 said cash, and they made up excuses for cash, like they had big student debts, like they had kids just entering college they needed to pay for, things where they were almost apologetic because they'd had enough time to really think about the non-cash reward, that now they were sold. That's what I want to do. So a lot of organizations make the mistake of saying, everybody says they want cash. Why don't I just give them what they want? It's easy. I'll just give them cash. The problem is you don't get nearly the impact from cash. Not always. I mean, with COVID-19, maybe someone was laid off or furloughed for 6 months. You're bringing them back to work. You might want to think about giving them cash because they might really need it. But in most circumstances, let's say where a person earns, a lot of people say 50,000. I'm going to go up to about 70,000. Their income is about $70,000 a year. There's a lot of research and science. Actually, our friend Ashley Willens at Harvard just published a book on this. She's the 150th person to demonstrate that above $75,000, more cash really doesn't matter. More salary doesn't make you any happier. But we know that when you carefully select an experience, a gift, something that might tap a person's emotions, that the impact of that reward will linger for a long time. So for the organizations, they've created a memory associated with the organization by giving someone an experience. That could just be a dinner out. You've worked the weekend, your spouses and kids have made a big sacrifice. Here's $150, GST $200. Take your kids out for dinner, reward them and you, because we want to appreciate your whole family for your sacrifice. There's a lot of that a $200 deposit in your bank account or a check doesn't get. Or you don't put those up on the door. And during COVID, a lot of organizations were sending prepared meals and thoughtful gifts that related to what people were going through with COVID. And the family was saying, wow, Dad, or he's great. They really care. So you're sort of enlisting the whole family sort of in sort of a Trojan horse with there, but very effective. Or you go on a trip and you create memories, and those memories last for years. And every time you think of it, you're thinking of the company because they were the ones who sent you on the trip. And then there's the reciprocity. In fact, and Adam, we could go into all the psychological benefits, but think about it this way. If you were to, I'm stealing this from Yuri Neasy, by the way, who's a brilliant guy at University of Chicago, but he wrote a book. Dan Arelli, you correct me on it, might be Dan Arelli, but he said, suppose you're at a Thanksgiving or Christmas dinner and you're with your family, and your mother-in-law has spent all day cooking this wonderful meal. And you're done, so slap your hands on the table, you stand up and you say, well, here's $400. That's great. Well, how is that going to go over with your mother? Not very well likely. She's probably going to prefer a hug and lots of praise and thank you, even though $400 is a fair sum of money. It's the same thing. People are emotional beings. Cash doesn't do it. Well-selected gifts and non-cash rewards really often can hit that emotion chord.